Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and here's an early review for Amazon's Chemical Hearts. So I got a chance to see a screener of this early, exciting, and this is a story of a young man who really wants to be the editor of the paper at the school he goes to, and this young woman comes to his school and he's kind of partnered with her, and she has a limb, she walks with a cane, and they find out that they both have this love for writing, and they're thrown together as partners in running this paper. But really, the story is more about the development of a relationship between these two characters. And I really enjoyed Chemical Hearts quite a bit. And this film was directed by Richard Tan, and this film feels very raw and emotional, and it's well shot, it's well realized, it's a well put together film. And Tan does a nice job of putting the film together, pacing it well, and you slowly start feeling the layers being pulled back on the story, and specifically on Lily Reinhardt's character Grace, who's this young woman who has a lot of baggage, and this film really thrives based off of Reinhardt's performance, because she gives a powerful and emotional performance that really made me feel. There's particular moments, especially when she starts to really have problems coming to grips with the fact that she's really falling in love with our main character, Henry, portrayed by Austin Abrams, and trying to come to grips with that, with all of her past baggage. And this is a really powerful moment, and Reinhardt's able to bring a lot of emotion and portray that confusion, those opposite pulling feelings in this situation, and it really works. And she gives by far the best performance in the film, and brings a lot of complex emotions from this character to the forefront. And her character is one of the important pieces of trying to lay the framework of the themes in the film, because she has issues writing her thoughts down, but when she says it, they come out beautifully, and that's something that inspires Henry to really feel this connection with her. And there's a running theme of one of Henry's hobbies where he breaks vases and pottery and puts them together, and specifically showing off the cracks that are put back together. And that's used in an interesting way, but a little heavy-handed of a way, to try to see, like, she's worried that he just wants to fix her. And Abrams' performance is alright. I feel like it's a little stiff at times, and you don't really get as much emotion as you should in certain scenes because his performance is a little stiff. I'm not sure he was the best choice for this particular role, but he does give a solid performance, and there's a particular scene where he really gets to let his emotions out that did work. Unfortunately, a lot of the characters in this film feel underdeveloped compared to Grace and to Henry. Like his parents, they seem like just this perfect married couple. The dad feels such like a dad. But honestly, there's one particular character that gets something interesting to do, and that's his sister. And she's going through a heartbreak. She works at a hospital, and so, like, she's the one that brings in the Chemical Hearts idea of the chemistry of love, and she brings some interesting perspectives, and some of her conversations with her brother are some of the best scenes in the film, and they really work well in terms of setting up a thematic strain to this story. One of the odd things in this film is, like, Henry has two friends, and one of them is a young woman who's lesbian, and she's trying to make this connection with this other girl at school who also works at the paper. And whether it's just to show like another loving relationship or I don't know, but they never spend enough time setting up that character as like a focal point of the story. And that storyline of her developing this relationship just feels tacked on. And there's not a lot of development, and then it just feels like it's taking away from the main story. And as those scenes were going on, like, I just want to go back to this main story because I am intrigued. I had a feeling of I want to know what this baggage that's holding Lily Reinhart's character back, Grace. And I felt like every time that they focused on this other relationship, which wasn't developed enough, or felt like it gave purpose to the story, I just wanted to go back to the main story. And you don't want that from a subplot. You want it to build and make you feel just as much as the other storylines, but it really didn't. And as this film progresses, you get to see more range from Reinhardt. You get to see the thread being pulled on this situation and finding these realizations of what's causing this conflict. And it feels like it builds up to one of those kinds of things where it's like, in the end, maybe this character was just there to help our main character. And I don't know how I felt about that. But in the end, I like how they incorporated their love for writing and this newspaper at the end, because there's one last issue that helps drive forward one of the important themes of the film. They really think about what helped create and structure their lives through high school, and the writers write something about it. And that was powerful. It really worked. And I felt like it was a nice exclamation point on the end of this film, and it really worked emotionally. And in the end, Chemical Hearts is a nice little high school romance, really anchored emotionally by Lily Reinhardt's fantastic performance. It's one of my favorite performances from an actress this year in 2020. And in the end, I think this is definitely something to check out when this launches on Amazon in a little bit after this review's posted. Go check this out. It's really worth your time. I highly recommend Chemical Hearts. But those are my thoughts. When you get a chance to see it, let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.